I'm an extrovert, and if you think my life is easy, you are mistaken. Most don't know that it's actually growing up to face real challenges, like just saying no when asked to do something against one's interest. But it was only gradual, because as someone said, it was all fun and games in the beginning. I was 8 years old when my language teacher told me to come to school along with my seniors so I can get my lessons taught prior to everyone else, because I didn't know ABCDs of it. I was little, but she appreciated me for being there on time every day and used to give me a candy after each class that used to make me feel so motivated to be on time the next day as well. I was little and I became more outgoing. I was 14 years old and we had a timetable with an extra 40 minutes of time at the end of the day to play what interested us. Hence, I chose to play basketball with unknown faces almost every day. Little did I know that I wasn't afraid to be around new people just because we have something to share. My PE coach used to let me play for another 10 minutes, and I always wondered why. And now I realized that it was for the way I was being able to easily mingle with the new people and yet play the game so well. New friends and new personalities intrigued me. I would happily volunteer to take part in competitions and various classworks. I would be there to help my friend in need when my teacher asked me to. With time, I learned to multitask, and with time, I learned to become independent, even if it means to get myself a bottle of water. As said before, it was all so fun, and I was appreciated for the way I was. Now, I'm 17 years old, and this is not the way I feel about myself anymore. This was the turning point where I observed, experienced, and learned the completely different side of how people started to look at me, more like at my personality. I felt a little less happy and sometimes even deceived. Now, I feel burdened to be an extrovert. Researchers estimate that extroverts make up 50 to 74% of the population. And according to a study published in the Cognitive, Affective, and Behavioral Neuroscience, extroverts are of two types: the agenetic extroverts and the affiliative extroverts. The agenetic extroverts are the go getters. They are persistent and driven by success. They like to shine in the limelight and take leadership opportunities whenever they get a chance to be so. The affiliative extroverts are the social butterflies. They are warm, friendly, and can easily break ice with new people. Close relationship means a lot to them, and they usually tend to have a very large group of friends. But when it comes to me, I highly think of myself to be a hybrid of the two. During these devastating times of the COVID-19 pandemic, the online procedures of literally every single thing started to make me feel overwhelmed. I felt attacked by new people as I had just moved to a new school, but still, I did my all to stay connected. One Sunday night, one of my classmates calls me up and goes, "Could you make me a spreadsheet by tomorrow noon?" One may think that I might have agreed with her. And yes, I did, in spite of knowing that it would be hard for me to make time as I already made plans for the next day. Problems started arising at these small situations as I overthought and pushed myself for others. Because I am an extrovert and I was expected to be there every time. At times, I was being silenced and I was put in situations where I was told to be less excited so I don't make it dramatic for my group members. But as much as I don't give a second thought in keeping my energy low if I have to keep someone comfortable around me, I did become a victim of being silenced, of being shut down, of being the one who has to wait for any situation, of being the one who can improvise at any time, and a little more of I have to's. It was a fine family gathering, and I was sitting with my cousins and happily talking. I talked the usual way I talk, but one of them goes, "Can you keep it low? Why are you so loud? You're not 100 miles away from me." And again, I'm supposed to take it jovially, and so I did. I laughed it out and mimicked talking low. But deep down, I knew this was not just the first time I kept getting labels for the way I was. And it kind of made my heart slip an inch every time I got them. Changes took place in me, and I began better at not taking it straight inside my head. Because once I knew I cannot really change or hide my emotions all the time, I went easy on myself. It felt like I had a mask on my face that I couldn't remove. But I learned that to be you means to be you when it comes to expressing your emotions, but not to be just completely outshone to the world. I started looking at people as emotions rather than just living bodies. I started to observe what they were made of, what vibe they give off, and of all, what is their inner persona. Gradually, I learned so much more about myself than what I had to learn about others. I wasn't the same loud person anymore, but I would become loud only when my favorite band played or if someone hit a six off a Yorker. This change did not come because I was hurt by what others told me, but because I evolved on my own and I realized that I cannot react the same way every time. I would become active and upbeat. I would also become sad and I would just wish to be by myself. But during that time, my brain would come and tell me that I am not justifying my extroverted nature. But thanks to my assertive character, I tell my brain that is all okay. Ultimately, we, the extroverts, cannot always be the ones to be understanding and to be considerate. We need a breather too. Extroverts need care just like any other person, even if we show ourselves to be confident enough and that we can be on our own. Being unable to socialize and do uncountable activities we dreamed of was brought down into pieces because of this pandemic. And this is the biggest reason why we wish the people around us to be understanding and considerate for the little changes that can take place in us. Situations in life change and they make us to grow into a better person. And sometimes it can go the other way around. When it goes the other way around, we learn to adapt to it. But it isn't possible without a supporting environment. I believe you can be that supporting environment and make it easier for those people who are in the same situation as I am. Lastly, if you feel like partying, you go for it. But not because you're an extrovert. If you feel like having a cup of tea with some music and just be by yourself, you go for it. But not because you're an introvert. In the end, if that is what's going to get you through the day, there is nothing else to think about. And to act shall never be a choice if it's specially to gain impression from everyone else around you. Thank you.